You're watching the news on the hour, brought to you from the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. I am Zubechi Frank. You are welcome. Christians have been admonished to work with resources available to them in carrying out the work of evangelism. The Bishop Theologian Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, and Vice Chancellor Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo, the Right Reverend Professor Dapo Asaju, made this comment at the just concluded retreat for Archbishop's Bishop's wife held at the Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo. Bishop Asaju, who spoke on the theme of the retreat, Bishop's wife as a steward, said evangelism is the first stewardship assignment for all Christians. He told the wives of archbishops and bishops that they should be at the lead of moves in evangelizing at their various dioceses because they have the same responsibility as their husbands in that respect. Taking his text from Matthew 25:14-30 and 1 Corinthians 4:1-5, he stated that God had endowed everyone with a measure of talent to enable the person to operate, and therefore urged them not to complain about lack of resources, but should learn to use whatever they have. He also reminded them that God will eventually demand an account of what they have made of what had been entrusted into their hands, and also taught them to pray for the sick and represent their husbands effectively. The General Overseer of the Lord's Chosen Charismatic Revival Ministries, Pastor Lazarus Moka, has pointed out the solutions to the killings and corruptions in the country. Speaking during an international crusade organized by his church in Ngidi, Olu West, Imo State over the weekend, the cleric urged Nigerians to embrace righteousness if they are to enjoy peace and development. He said righteousness was the only panacea to ending corruption and killings witnessed in the country, and that there is no nation that is blessed above Nigeria. But today, small nations that have nothing are enjoying everything, and therefore Nigeria as a nation should return to righteousness. President Muhammadu Buhari has given full charge of his re-election campaign for 2019 election to the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He made the announcement while launching the APC Presidential Campaign Council at the Abuja International Conference Center on Monday. He, however, assured that he will participate fully in the campaign. Meanwhile, Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Transport, has been inaugurated into the Presidential Campaign Council of President Muhammadu Buhari, despite the emergence of leaked audios in which Amechi allegedly criticized Buhari as someone who doesn't care and doesn't listen to anyone. Apart from Amechi, who is the sole Director General of the Campaign Council, others are Bola Tinubu, national leader of the party, who along with President Muhammadu Buhari is the co-chairman, and Adams Oshomole, national chairman, who joins Vice President Yemi Osinbajo as the two deputy chairmen. Following the directive of the federal government to the army to vacate all premises of Daily Trust in Maiduguri and Abuja, the Nigerian army has explained that it invaded the offices of media company Daily Trust for sabotaging its war against terrorist group Boko Haram through its publication. It will be recalled that soldiers had invaded the organization's offices in Maiduguri and Abuja on Sunday, January 6, 2019, arresting members of staff and seizing several computers. The presidency later released a statement to say that President Muhammadu Buhari had called for an end to the occupation of both offices. According to a statement signed by the Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Sani Usman, on Monday, January 7th, the raids were as a result of a recent story published allegedly disclosing classified military information to the public. Usman said the disclosure of the details of planned military operations against Boko Haram was a breach of national security and endangered the lives of troops in the northeast. The opposition political parties have resolved to begin nationwide protest from January 15th to force President Muhammadu Buhari to name a new Inspector General of Police. The parties on the platform of the Coalition of United Political Parties hinged their decision on the claim that the current IG Ibrahim Idris ceased to be a policeman since January 3rd after 35 years in service. The coalition position was contained in a statement by its First National spokesman, Imo Ugochinyere, in Abuja, where he stated that the position of the IG was currently vacant since Idris was deemed to have retired, having served for 35 years, adding that the nation's constitution did not make provision for a former police officer to be an IG. He claimed that by parading himself as the IG after January 3rd, Idris was committing a crime of impersonation, describing the act as a threat to national security. Ugochinyere said the protest would start once Idris was seen in police uniform around the force headquarters from January 15th. He also added that the protest would be held in front of the police command headquarters of every state and would continue till the right thing is done. The coalition spokesperson called Buhari's attention to the provision of Section 215, page 1 of the 1999 Constitution, which he said held that the president could only appoint a serving police officer as the IG. On our community news, millions of Nigerians, especially children, particularly in the content of urbanization, has been reportedly exposed to disease caused by environment pollution. Improper management of water resources can lead to vector-borne disease, and the most effective way to reduce the spread of the disease is to improve the access of sanitation in Nigeria. Our reporter, Blessing Ugochukwu, has the report.
Pollution occurs when the natural environment cannot destroy an element without creating harm or damage to itself. Inadequate sanitation allows sewage or waste to flow directly into streams, rivers, or lakes, affecting coastal and marine ecosystem, fouling the environment and exposing people to disease. According to World Health Organization, 1 in 10 individuals suffers physically and emotionally from unsafe water sources. A lot of people put their daily waste into the lake or ocean, which further pollutes the water bodies. But what people do not know is that these pollutants can take hundreds to thousands of years to disappear. The declining water quality endangers the health of humans as well as the ecosystem, as proper sanitation plays an important part in maintaining health. Thus, open defecation means no sanitation. Pollution must be taken seriously as it has a negative effect on natural elements that are absolute need for life to exist on Earth. Therefore, we should desist from disposing rubbish or any other waste products into lakes, rivers, and streams. In Abuja, Blessing Ugochukwu, ACNN News.
We shall now go on a short commercial break. We'll be back. Please stay with us.
Why do we fall ill? Is it possible to stay without falling ill? Is God interested in our health? Can we get access to cheaper health anywhere? Do you want tips on how to stay healthy? Then join me, Angela Weze, on Health Watch every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. with repeat broadcasts on Thursday at 2 p.m. and Saturday at 1:30 p.m. as health experts provide answers to your questions on how to remain healthy physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually here on Anglican Cable Network Nigeria. God bless you.
You are welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android from Google Play Store. And now to foreign news. The chairman, GAFCON movement, and the primate of all Nigeria, Anglican Communion, His Grace the Most Reverend Dr. Nicholas D. Oko, has said that being a faithful Anglican no longer means being in communion with Canterbury, which is the mother province of the Anglican Communion all over the world. He opined that though it is a sad truth, but insistence on full communion with Canterbury as an essential mark of belonging to the Anglican Communion now risks jeopardizing the apostolic faith itself. This statement is contained in Archbishop Oko's Epiphany letter to the GAFCON faithful. In the letter, he lamented the decision of the Church of England to give official guidance to help transgender people to mark their transition, and it will be incorporated into a range of services authorized by General Synod called Common Worship. He, however, prayed that there will be repentance and that God will give courage and boldness to those who remain faithful. A spokesperson for the government of Gabon has said the political situation in the country is under control following an attempted military coup. It was reported that some soldiers in Gabon staged an apparent coup early Monday morning, seizing the state radio station at around 4:30 a.m. local time, declaring their dissatisfaction with President Ali Bongo, who is recovering from a stroke in Morocco. Gabon spokesperson Guy Bertrand Mpangwa told the BBC that 4 of the rebels had been arrested by the authorities and the 5th is on the run. He said that the army generals, civil society and opposition leaders mentioned in the rebel statement as potential supporters would be investigated, adding that the officer on the run would be arrested. A strong 6.6 magnitude earthquake struck off the Indonesian coast early Monday, sending residents running out of their homes, but no tsunami warning was issued. The quake hit at a depth of 60 kilometers on the Mokwa Sea, some 175 kilometers northwest of the city of Ternate. According to the USGS, Indonesia is still reeling from a deadly tsunami at the end of December triggered by an erupting volcano in the middle of the Sunda Straits between Java and Sumatra Island that killed more than 400 people. The tsunami was Indonesia's 3rd major natural disaster in 6 months, following a series of powerful earthquakes on the islands of Lombok in July and August, and a quick tsunami in September that killed around 2,200 people in Palu and Sulawesi Island, with thousands more missing and presumed dead. Moving on to sports, Jose Mourinho has rejected an offer to return to Benfica to become their new manager. The former Manchester United and Chelsea boss feels that it is too early to return to Portuguese football at this stage of his career. It is understood Mourinho, who was sacked as Manchester United boss last month, would prefer to take up a position at one of Europe's leading clubs. Mourinho's first fully fledged managerial job was at Benfica in 2000, but a dispute with the club led to him leaving the Estadio Luz after just 9 league games. So that's it on this edition of the News on the Hour. I want to thank you for watching. I am Zubechi Frank.